The hallway smelled of antiseptic and panic. They rushed my wife and my brother in on separate stretchers. Blood, glass, torn clothes. 2 lives tangled in the wreckage of a single accident. I followed, coat half-buttoned, ID badge swinging, still in disbelief. The triage nurse wouldn't look at me. "Where are they?" I asked. My voice came out sharper than I intended. "Trauma room 3, she whispered. Then, softer, "Doctor, you shouldn't." I pushed past her anyway. The doors hissed open, and the air changed. I recognized the scent immediately. Iron and latex. Death was close. A colleague stepped forward, blocking my path. His gloves were red. "You must not look," he said quietly. "Why?" He hesitated, eyes flicking toward the curtain separating the 2 beds. "Because once you see, you'll never be the same." I should have turned away, but I didn't. When I finally saw, time fractured. Her hand was locked around his. Not by accident, by choice. Their fingers intertwined in a way that only lovers hold. Their blood mingled on the sheets. Her wedding ring was missing. I stood there, the world collapsing inward, my pulse fading to static. I should have felt rage. Instead, I felt precision. I was a surgeon. I knew how to cut things out cleanly. The report said they'd been found in a crashed car near the old highway. Half-dressed, airbags deployed, her lipstick smeared across his collar. Police called it a collision caused by distraction. I didn't need them to define distraction. That night, as I washed the blood from my hands, the hospital lights flickered against the tiles like confession candles. I saw her face in my mind, smiling that morning, saying she was going to meet a friend. My brother had said he was working late. 2 lies that collided and almost made me a widower and a fool in the same breath. Almost. The next few days I moved through the hospital like a ghost. Calm. Professional. People thought I was grieving. I was calculating. She survived. He did too. Broken ribs, concussion, minor internal bleeding. Their punishment, for now, was consciousness. I visited her first. She looked at me with eyes that searched for sympathy. I gave her silence. "You saw him?" she whispered. I nodded. Tears welled. "It wasn't what it looked like." I left before she could finish. My brother was next. He smirked when he saw me, like shame had already left him. "We didn't mean for you to find out like this." The arrogance in his tone was almost scientific. It proved how deeply betrayal corrodes the human brain. That night I stayed late reviewing their charts. Same room, adjacent beds, shared morphine schedule. Perfect. I adjusted her medication slightly. Nothing fatal, just enough to keep her dreaming long, vivid dreams, the kind that blurred truth with guilt. For him, I ordered observation delays. His pain would last longer. Hours of wakefulness between sedations. He'd beg for sleep. I wanted them both conscious for what was coming. By the 4th day, I had all I needed. Phone records confirmed months of messages, hotel bookings under fake names, transactions from her card to his account. She had funded his debts. He had given her lies. I printed everything, folded the evidence into a single white envelope. When I walked into her room that night, she smiled weakly. "You came." I placed the envelope on her lap. "You'll want to read it before visiting hours end." Her hands shook as she opened it. Each photo, each line of text drained the color from her face. Then she whispered his name. My brother's. The sound cut the room in half. She didn't see him standing in the doorway, leaning on crutches, watching her unravel. Her voice broke. "You told me he didn't know." He stared at me. "You set this up." I said nothing. The truth didn't need my voice. It had already been spoken by their shame. The next morning, I transferred them to separate wings of the hospital, different wards, different times for therapy. No communication permitted between them. To the staff, it was routine protocol. To me, it was a surgical separation of disease from tissue. When she was discharged, she tried to call. I never answered. When he was released weeks later, he came to my office, limping, pale, desperate. "She left me," he said. I leaned back, expression still. "You left yourself." He searched my face for anger, maybe forgiveness. He found nothing. Before he walked out, I added, "Don't visit our parents. They think you're dead." The look in his eyes, hollow recognition, was the cleanest incision I'd ever made. It's been 6 months. The hospital feels quieter now. She moved out. The house is bare, except for the hum of the refrigerator and the soft tick of clocks. Sometimes I sit in the dark, listening to the rain slide down the window, and I think about that moment in the trauma room, their hands intertwined, covered in blood. That image used to haunt me. Now, it sustains me. I've learned something valuable. Love isn't sacred. It's a contract written in flesh, and once breached, the wound never heals. It only hardens. I still wear my wedding ring, not as memory, but as warning. It reminds me that trust, once broken, doesn't deserve revival, and that sometimes the cleanest cut is the one you never close.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and comment. Subscribe now to Cheating Stories Insight World for more amazing stories.